Hi guys, I hope you're all safe and well. It's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do the Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you were drawn to card 1, we're going into the energy of the Chariot. Now, the Chariot's a really interesting card when it shows it's all about graduation, it's all about the completion of a cycle or something coming good, something coming together. So it might be that you've been working on a personal project, there may have been something that you've really had to invest your time, your effort, your dedication into, and it's finally come into a stage of completion and you're now sort of celebrating and basking in that success. This could also be for some of you that maybe you've been doing kind of courses and you've maybe completed something and you've been kind of given a certification, things of this nature. But this can also show when we're wanting to move forward in other ways. So it could be sort of moving forward in a more energetic sense of just deciding to make some personal changes, some personal investments, and moving forward energetically in that way. And sometimes with the Chariot card, it also spills into changes around home living. So we do have in the back all the sort of properties, and it might be for some of you that you're wanting to sort of look at where you physically sort of put your roots down to. So there could be for some of you that maybe you're actually looking at buying a property and making the steps and the changes to sort of go on that journey. It could be for some of you that maybe you're in rented and you're wanting to find somewhere new. It could be for some of you that you've got a home but you want to go on a sort of an exchange or a swap if it's council. And it could be for some of you that actually you're going to stay in an existing home, but there may be some focus on sort of resurrection, so sort of making the place sort of feel a bit loved again, so bringing it back to life. So there could be some decoration or renovation work or extension work as well that might be being carried out. But there's definitely a focus on home living, making sure you've got somewhere that offers you sacred space. So this is quite an interesting card because, like I say, there's a few pockets that it pulls into, but it's definitely about graduation primarily, but a chance to move forward as well. So quite an exciting one if you've been drawn to this. Now then, guys, as we're moving into card 2, we're going into the energy of the Lovers. I really love this version because this is like a scene of gay pride, and it just says here on the sort of the main banner, an army of lovers cannot lose, which I think is quite a powerful message to bring that in close. And we've got the two masculine hands sort of holding together. Now, for me, when I sort of look at this card, what I feel more so, it's about sort of self-care, it's self-love. It's great to find that within a companion or with somebody else, a partner or someone that completes us, but it's worthless if we don't have that love for ourselves. So this is a sort of a message and a theme that keeps coming up at the moment, and it's coming up a lot in readings that I'm doing for people. It's surprising how many people are giving the illusion of being okay and at peace, but actually have really lost their worth, their merit, their real sense of identity, and not necessarily their sexuality. It's more like spiritual identity and spiritual acceptance. So I always see with the Lovers card, primarily this is about you gifting, celebrating, and actually loving and liking the best of who you are independently. And once you can be at peace with you, it can spill over to other people externally, and then sometimes that can branch off into romantic connections. So with the Lovers card, it can indicate romantic connections at times. So it might be that there are, for some of you, you're at that point where you're welcoming in new love, new romances, but it could also be that there's just a focus here on your own connection, your own relationship with you, with internally. And if that's the case, it's making sure that you love and you're at peace with the essence of who you are, because we have to be in our body every day. We can spend years and years rebelling it, or we can just get to a point where we think, do you know what, I can't change it, I have to just embrace it. We can make adaptations and tweaks, but primarily this is the vessel, this is the mode of transport we're in. So, and we are going to be in it every day whilst we're here on earth. So it's far easier to be at peace, to like, to love, and actually to honour the essence of who you are. you know. I think that's mega, mega important. And so many people are not at peace with themselves. It's quite sad. It's quite a sort of, you know, it's not a nice thing to always hear, really. So I've got a really itchy nose at the moment. It's because I've just done a reading and spirit are still quite around me. That's what it is. So yeah, I think it's really, really mega important with this card. Self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, and then watch it come in around you from other places, both romantically, but also with friendships and general people embracing your energy. Like always attracts like, you know. So that's quite an interesting one. And finally, if you've been drawn to card 3, we're going into the energy of the Fool. I really love the version of this. I know that it's a bigger dog, but it almost reminds me a little bit of my little Oski. So with the Fool, there's a sense of adventure, there's a sense of optimism, there's a sense of moving forward, but actually being the doorkeeper of your own destiny. The Fool travels very light. They don't have too much to sort of hold them down. They don't have too much baggage to worry about. So he's got this sort of little rucksack and he's ready for fun. He's ready for adventures. He's ready to see, I say he, could be a she, but they're ready for new experiences. So if you've been drawn to the Fool, this is a great time to feel alive. It's a great time for opportunity. It's a great time for optimism. It's also a great time for new cycles, new challenges, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something that you wouldn't usually get to do. So it might be for some of you that you are looking and you are broadening your horizons at the moment. So there could be some new goals, some new dreams, some new adventures, and go after them. But don't have your sort of head so far in the sky that you forget your footing. Be logical, be grounded, have your wits and your awareness about you, but be open to the opportunities. So it's almost seeing beyond the dangers, beyond the problems, and actually being quite excited for what could come. It feels like, I always feel with the Fool, it's quite an exciting time because you're at the point between points. So this is usually reflecting somebody that's just really being guided by the universe. They've surrendered to the experience and they're almost just going with the flow. So they're not fearful of the future. They have an awareness for it, but they're not fearful of it. They're not reliving cycles of the past. They've made peace with whatever has happened in their past. They have an awareness for it, but they're not allowing it to disrupt anything in the present time. So the Fool is all about living for the moment, living and being guided by the breath of life. And when all is said and done, that's the only thing we have real accessibility to anyway, isn't it? So this is quite an exciting time if you've been drawn to this. So a time full of wonder, a time full of optimism, and a time to just see what can be experienced, what can be achieved, because life is for living. So going to leave that one with you and hope it makes a bit of sense. So stay well, stay safe, stay fabulous. Have a great week ahead, guys. Just a reminder that on Sunday, I am going to be at Avebury Psychic Spiritual Fair doing a day of one-to-one readings. So looking forward to seeing some of you lovelies there. Thank you so much for everybody that is getting behind the tour. The revised date of Bristol is selling quite well. So thank you so much for supporting the new Bristol date. It was not a new date. It's just been revised. So thank you very much for that, and all the other dates that are up and coming on the tour. Really, really exciting stuff. So have an amazing week ahead, and I will look forward to catching up with some of you lovelies either on Zoom or at the various fairs that are coming up or on one of my tour dates. So love and blessings. Bye for now.